Pro lock-in or anti-lock-in? It is the age-old debate, and we are going there. In this episode, we are talking whether you should avoid lock-ins altogether or whether you should lean all the way in for their ministry, value, and purpose. And fun fact, if you are on the pro lock-in side, Andrew, our guest today, is offering one free coaching session to one of our listeners. So if that's something that you're interested in, hit the link down below in the description. Let us know. But we are going to go there with two different youth pastors, Ellen Partridge and Andrew Jansen, on two different sides of the lock-in debate. And you just get to grab some popcorn and listen in as they go back and forth about which way is better. So without any further ado, let's dive in. Welcome everybody to the Hybrid Ministry Show. Well, what is up everybody? Here I am this morning with Andrew and my new friend Ellen. Good morning everyone. How are we doing this morning?
Doing good.
Hey, are you guys, do you have coffee yet in your systems, or is that
We're on the first cup.
All right, okay.
Go Spartans.
They're doing pretty good, right? Michigan State?
Yeah, not as good as Michigan, which is a bummer, but
yeah. And this will drop after March Madness, so we'll all know. Comment down below like how Michigan did. You know, Michigan State, not Michigan. But I'm excited because today we are debating pro lock-in versus anti-lock-in. And based on the two people that you see on your screen here, you can probably already tell who's pro lock-in and who's anti-lock-in. And so I'm just so excited for you guys to get to not only get to know these two amazing people, but also hear their positions on this. And so by random draw that happened off screen that you're going to have to trust me because I'm a pastor and I get paid to tell the truth. Ellen, you get to go first. So 1 minute on the clock for you. Just introduce yourself, help the people understand your context, where you're at, how long you've been in ministry, all these types of things.
absolutely.
Ellen, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, take it away.
All right, everyone. My name is Ellen Partridge. I serve as the central pastor of students at Thornapple Valley Church. We are centralized out of Hastings, Michigan, so southwest Michigan, and we are a multi-site church, but I've been in ministry for very close to 2 decades now, and we're more in a rural context and a multi-site context, so things are a little bit different for us versus just the single site. And when I think about lock-ins, the thing that always comes to mind is the halt analogy. If you're hungry, if you're angry, if you're tired, what are the things you shouldn't do, which is make decisions. And so we're going to put students in a room where they are locked in together. You got the ones who, I have a kid in my youth ministry who at camp asked me if I could move our bedtime up to 9 p.m. I let him know that wasn't a thing, but you've got those kind of kids, and then you've got the kids who have snuck in all their energy drinks and are going to be up till 4 in the morning. And those kids that are up are going to be picking on the kids that don't want to be up, that want to be sleeping. And then you've got a lot of that interpersonal conflict that is going on within that. And you're putting that all into a giant space where you're having to entertain them and or keep track of them as they are, coming up with all of these grand ideas of how they're going to use their time. And I remember back to my youth group days, our youth ministry actually met in a old YMCA building. And for some reason, they did not lock the doors to the locker rooms, and then that locker room led to a empty pool. And I can't confirm or deny if there were children conceived in that pool, but there probably were. And it was coming from opportunities where we did lock-ins, and they led us all throughout this building with lots of classrooms, lots of spaces that should have been locked that were not. And so from that perspective of hungry, angry, tired, lack of ability to, keep an eye on all the students in all the places, I am very anti-lock-in.
Well, there you go. Andrew, she blew past introductions just straight into
just
arguments.
Right past it. Yeah, she went right past it, and that's okay.
She's coming for you, right?
She's coming in hot.
She's coming
for sure.
in hot. So
that's okay.
Ellen, great argument. I hope no students were babies were conceived in that pool.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to swim there.
Yeah,
Andrew,
it's gross.
Tell us, tell us why Ellen's wrong and why lock-ins are a great idea. All of these concerns, whether it's safety related, whether you should have a lock-in, how to make sure that you're staffed, like they're real issues and real concerns that you need to think about and figure out. Meanwhile, you also probably know that you should pay attention and have something on your student ministry social media. But how do you take care of that when you're busy? This is where my seasonal social media pack and my completely free ebook come into play. You can grab my ebook for free. I'll tell you exactly how to implement and create a hybrid strategy. And then you can grab my seasonal social media pack if you just need something to run and operate on in the background while you're busy either planning a lock-in or busy arguing against having a lock-in. Whatever your position of the debate is, we think we can all agree that we need and you need this seasonal social media pack. Check out the link in the description, and let's get back to the episode. Andrew, tell us why Ellen's wrong and why lock-ins are a great idea. But first, give us a little bit of intro as you go. Are you ready, my friend?
I'm ready. Yeah,
let's go. Take it away.
My name's Andrew Jansen. I am a middle school pastor in Manhattan, Kansas. Sorry, a couple years ago we did play Michigan State, and I know you probably knew that, but we have nothing to talk about sports-wise hardly at all right now, so that's okay. But I love K-State. I love serving in Manhattan. I am 36 years old. I've been a youth pastor for 10 years, and I really love getting to be in Manhattan, getting to work with college students that invest in middle schoolers. That's kind of my passion. And man, I love lock-ins. It works within the context of our church is about 1,900 people, and we work with multi-buildings on our campus, but not multi-site. But it is just set up in a really easy way to execute and make lock-ins happen. And especially in our season right now where we have, and it changes. We have college students that graduate, but we have like 17, 18 youth coaches right now. And a lot of them enjoy staying up super late. And so it just really worked in this season to be able to have enough people there for a safe lock-in to happen. Middle schoolers are crazy and love staying up all night, love getting to be like, you can be at the church besides Sunday and Wednesday. And it was just really, really awesome. We did a New Year's Eve lock-in, and they just have so much fun. There's opportunities for fellowship, board games, long extended times that maybe you don't get that opportunity to play through an entire game of Exploding Kittens or Taco Cat. Mahomes cheese pizza, not Taco Cat goat cheese pizza. We all know Mahomes is the goat. But we play Taco Cat Mahomes cheese pizza, and you get through 2 rounds, and it's time for youth group to start. So we get to play through those games, have those conversations, and invest in the students moving forward.
Great. All right. Well, there you have it. Like there's each of you have laid down the gauntlet with your position, right? Andrew's is based upon board games. Ellen's is based upon pools being present. And so with those 2 things in mind, plus everything else, do either of you have a question for the other that we can debate in a little bit more of an open forum?
All right, Andrew, I got one for you. So what do you do with the kids who are not your board game kids? What are your other activities that you're able to do? Because it sounds like you're pretty board game heavy. So how are you keeping the other kids occupied that are not interested in your board games?
Absolutely. So I try to make sure that every single second is accounted for at a lock-in. We have intentional time where it's like, hey, they get to choose. We have our youth building has like carpet ball, foosball, ping pong. We have not a Nintendo Switch 2, but 2 Nintendo Switches, which is kind of confusing.
That could be confusing, yeah.
Definitely. But So we have like Mario Kart and Smash Bros going. I really try to get them away from screens as much as I can because we all know that battle. But yeah, trying to have every single second with like some sort of activity, some sort of competition tournament. The last time I was on with Nick, we talked about the Assassins like meta ongoing game that happens throughout the evening, and having things like that where there isn't an opportunity to be bored really, really is effective with middle schoolers. Because once you were right, once they're bored and exploring and they find a pool and we know what happens next. There's just something about an empty pool. But with middle schoolers, that's not so much of the sneaking off and having that happen. I think that's more of a high school situation. But I just try to make sure every single second is accounted for, and that kind of helps with, not having that board game time for the students that don't like board games.
And notice you keep saying middle school. You're not mentioning high school. So are you saying that lock-ins are only good for middle school, or would you do one with high school?
I would. That is a great question. I would do a high school lock in for sure. I think that you do run that risk. They are a little bit more like I can kind of put on the dad voice, like the hey, what are you doing? And they'll just like freeze as a middle schooler. They still, will listen to authority when it yells at them. So with high school, they're kind of a little bit more independent, a little bit more calloused, and a little bit more like on their own. I always use this analogy of like middle schoolers are like dogs and high schoolers are like cats. Like dogs are just happy that you're there and happy that you see them. High schoolers, you kind of have to earn that relational like equity. And I would say yes, have a lock in with the high schoolers, but only do it if you have the resources and the adult volunteers. And also if you're like, this group is just like they're this is a crazy group of high schoolers, like it's not always a green light for that a specific group of high schoolers if you just feel like that wouldn't be good. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a good argument.
Andrew, you got a question for Ellen?
Yes. What do you feel is I want you to tell me what is the like risk reward
Mm.
trade-off where you feel like, hey, this is too risky to have a lock-in for this type of reward.
Yeah, it's a great question. I would just say I'm a big fan of like doing late night activities, hanging out super late. The thing that gets me and where I feel like the risk comes in is once you hit that 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m. mark, that even and you mentioned that you've got college leaders. I don't live in a college town, and so I mostly have adult leaders. And so for
Mhm.
me, I know my adult leaders are not going to be on their A game coming into that situation. And so for me, the risk in my context is a lot higher that my leaders are going to start maybe losing their minds or going stir crazy or sleep deprivation is going to kick in. And it's going to lead to students because they're curious, ending up doing things that they don't need to do. And so for me, I would rather do a thing where it's like, hey, we're hanging out till midnight, your parents are picking you up, and then maybe we do something again the next morning, because then I know they're getting sleep, my leaders are getting sleep, and it also means that I'm not putting them at risk. I'm not putting my leaders at risk. And so for me, there doesn't seem to be necessarily yes, there's the connection reward, but I wonder if that's always overshadowed by the sleep deprivation, the angry, hangry situations that can come up. And also, I worry for my adult leaders that they're going to say something out of their own sleep deprivation or frustration after telling the same kid 8 times not to do something, that it may end up ultimately hurting a relationship that was good, and then they make a good relationship with someone that they had a bad relationship with, and so you're kind of at a net zero is kind of how I look at it.
Okay,
I
definitely
I
fair.
just feel like the ultimate fact that like I would rather sleep in my bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. Like that's my strongest argument for anti lock in. Just shooting straight. Plus, I enjoy Saturdays, and if I am doing a lock in, I don't know. There's no. Also, Andrew, question for you.
Yeah.
Do you ever notice that your Sunday morning attendance is affected post a lock-in weekend?
Oh, for sure. Like, I mean, that, like they're I tell my youth coaches, like, hey, you were just at church for, 15 hours.
Yeah,
It's okay for you to sleep in.
yeah,
I'll be there because I work there, but
yeah,
yeah, students, like a lot of times parents will bring them and they might fall asleep or something during a message, but yeah, I think like it happens. Like there are definitely repercussions to having a lock in, but I just think that uh, that there's just a lot of I've seen so many good things and good conversations and relationships start at lock-ins, and
yeah,
it's just with a certain unchurched group of students, it's just an easy invite.
yeah.
It's just an
Which
easy way to get them there.
And I hear you. Like Sunday morning, it's like, okay, like, yeah, they didn't come on Sunday morning, which is like the senior pastor's goal. But like, we had a lot more effective and fruitful time than like them sitting through a sermon or whatever, like through the lock in. And, in the times I have done lock ins, like, it's almost always one of the number one most attended
Mm-hmm.
events from friends. Like,
Yep.
we would have some of our biggest numbers and biggest reach, as far as outreach is concerned. So, I definitely do see like both sides for sure. So those of you listening, you're about to get your opportunity to vote. Ellen, you went first last time.
All right.
Andrew, we're gonna put a minute on the clock now for you. Give us your final 1 minute strongest argument. Why lock-ins? Are you ready, my friend?
I'm ready.
Take it away.
Lock-ins are definitely the easiest first step in the door with a church. If you have the right resources, if you have the right volunteers, and you have a solid game plan going into it, your group of students. I think middle school or high school, it is an easy invite for the unchurched student. And that is kind of the lens in which I plan a lock in. I don't have the whole bait and switch, like we're going to talk to them about Jesus Christ, their Lord and Savior, first thing, and then just have the rest of the lock in. It is, hey, building connections, being intentional, and teaching the students that's why we're doing this. Like, hey, we're doing this so you can bring that friend, start that relationship, and so that they associate church with fun, with safe, with they feel welcome and feel like they belong. There's something different happening here. And our hope is that continues on afterwards.
Great. Almost a buzzer beater, but not
Almost.
quite. All right, Ellen, you get the final word, final say. Anti-lock-in. Go ahead, take it away.
All right. As fun as lock-ins can be and the memories that are made, the risk of students having bad memories, whether it's a leader who loses their cool, it's another student who says something they wouldn't have said because they're sleep deprived or because they're overtired, to me just doesn't equate to the reward. I am much more on the side of let's do a long evening event where maybe we can start at 6 or 7 and parents are picking up at midnight. So we're still getting that opportunity to connect with them, to have those great conversations, to have an opportunity for them to invite their friends. But at the same time, when it hits 2, 3 in the morning, our leaders and our students are home in their beds, getting the sleep and the rest that they need. And hopefully, because they had a great time, we're going to be able to see them on Sunday morning and they're able to stay plugged into that larger church community, opposed from being just separate from the youth ministry.
Nice. Nice. Another almost buzzer beater. Well, there you have it, my friends. You have your pro lock-in versus your anti-lock-in debate. And so you guys get to be the decision makers. Those of you watching, let us know. Comment down below. But without any further ado, we're going to get out of here. For Andrew and for Ellen, I'm Nick. Well, there you have it. Comment down below whether you are pro lock-in or whether you are anti-lock-in. If you're watching here on screen, you'll see the different emojis. Comment your choice and decide and let us know who do you think won this debate. And don't forget, Andrew is offering a free lock-in coaching session. So if that is something that you are interested in and you want to plan your lock-in, hit the link down in the description and let us know so that I can get you in touch with Andrew, who's willing to walk you through his foolproof lock-in system. But thank you guys so much for being here. Until next time, and as always, don't forget, stay hybrid.